two sisters embark on a road trip to a game show in the hopes of winning enough money to pay back their mother's gambling debts. Awkwafina, Sandra Oh, and Will Ferrell star in Quiz Lady. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the new Hulu film Quiz Lady. This is streaming right now, and all three people I mentioned, Awkwafina, Sandra Oh, Will Ferrell, not just starring in this movie, but also producing the thing. So they've really got their hands down and dirty in forming these characters and everything that goes with that. But we'll get into the specifics of the movie here in just a second. First, let me welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. We do movie and TV reviews here on the channel. I would love for you to subscribe or just like this video or comment down below. All that stuff does help the channel out. And I try to post something new just about every day. So always a lot to check out, and handy dandy playlists on the homepage as well. 2023 movies, 2023 TV shows, and some of my specialty videos as well. Frasier reviews, Masked Singer recaps also have their own playlist. So a lot to check out there on the homepage. All right, so let's talk about this movie, Quiz Lady. I am a game show fan. In fact, I have a bunch of game show reviews as well on the channel. So this spoke to me right away, and I like some of the people involved. I'm a little bit hit or miss lately with Awkwafina. I feel like maybe her range is not that great, or maybe she's getting roles that are not giving us a strong range for her. But this one, I think we are seeing a little bit more of range from her, and not quite put in that box that we've seen her in many times over. And she's done it before. The Farewell was a fantastic movie that I thought maybe she could have been nominated for. But that was a very dramatic movie. Some light comedic elements, but about a family member dying. This here is more of a comedy, certainly. But all right, so you've got Awkwafina and Sandra Oh playing the Yum sisters. Annie Yum is Awkwafina, and she is obsessed with this one game show that airs live every single night. She's never missed it in decades, and she knows all of the answers, everything that comes up on it. So when they realize that their mother has a bunch of gambling debts to pay, they think, oh, okay, well, you are going to be a pro on this game show. We should get you involved. And so her sister, played by Sandra Oh, secretly takes a video of her answering all these rapid-fire questions that goes viral, and word gets back to the show, and it goes from there. So Will Ferrell plays the game show host, and Jason Schwartzman is on hand as well. He plays Ron Heacock, who is the long time winner, think Ken Jennings, of this show. And so he's been winning for months and months, and has broken some of the records there and stuff. You also have Holland Taylor here as the nosy neighbor, Francine, of the Awkwafina character. And her and Sandra Oh worked together a few years ago on a Netflix series called The Chair, which I thought was pretty good. So they are back working together again. And this is also the final movie, and he just has a bit of a cameo in it, but the final film for Paul Rubens, who we lost a few months ago. So there's a lot going on in this movie. I keep wanting to call it a show because game show is at the center of it. But no, of course, it's a movie. And look, there are some things that don't work about this. I don't think the humor always lands. I think at some points they're trying a bit too hard. And I'm not positive all of the game show stuff really works in a real world format. For example, the live nature of the game show. No game shows are live anymore. That hasn't been, a thing for like 30-40 years. So, that's a little bit off. But look, the in terms of the mechanics of the game show, and the format and everything, it works for me enough, so I won't be too nitpicky about that. But Will Ferrell plays a great game show host, certainly something that's right in his wheelhouse, sort of, always on, always, preening for the cameras and whatever. And then, you have her as a game show obsessed player, but her the other parts of her world are kind of bland and boring. She doesn't really talk to the people at work. In fact, she kind of alienates herself from them, and she's also been sort of alienated from her sister. They've had a falling out, which they dive into, during the course of the movie. And that, I think, is the strongest component, really, of the movie, is that sisterly bond. We learn a lot about why they're estranged, why the Sandra Oh character is kind of the way she is. She's, kind of played for this kooky person. And what's interesting about that is, Sandra Oh is funny. We rarely get to see it because, of course, she's most known for, I would say, the two projects she's best known for. Certainly Grey's Anatomy, right? But maybe Sideways, which is a pretty dramatic movie. There's little, comedic elements to it, but her character, was not this sort of broad comedic character, and that's what we get here. And look, she's hosted Saturday Night Live. Like, she can be funny, and I think a lot of people don't necessarily know that. So I think this was a good pairing, because it helps sort of mitigate Awkwafina doing her exact same shtick that we've seen a lot, because it gives her somebody a little bit more interesting than usual to play off of, and that sisterly dynamic, I think, really works for this movie. What else? Yeah, I mean, Will Ferrell is good. This was directed by Jessica Yu, who, I looked up her filmography. Film wise, not so much. She's more in the TV directing. She's directed several episodes of things like The West Wing and Grey's Anatomy. I'm not sure if she directed episodes from the Sandra Oh years on there, but maybe they form some kind of connection there. But yeah, I mean, as road trip movies go, this one certainly is not as funny as some that we've seen, and it's not maybe as poignant as some other ones. We had some last year that revolved around teenage pregnancies that were really interesting. But look, the road trip is not necessarily the core of this movie. It's more of the sisterly bonding aspect, and we see a lot of that before the road trip even starts. Where you sort of are supposed to hate the Sandra Oh character, and then you learn more, as we go along. And then it ends, the last, like, and again, we're not going to do spoilers, but the last, like, 20, 25 minutes or so is at the game show, where, to a game show guy like me, that's all pretty compelling stuff as well. I just wish this were funnier. It reminds me a little bit of some of those R-rated comedies we would get at the theater every couple of weeks in the early 2010s, where maybe the joke ratio was okay, but the characters sucked, or vice versa. Here, it's a little bit of both. But yeah, overall, this is definitely watchable, and you can see this on Hulu right now if you'd like to. I leave Quiz Lady with a B. Pretty solid entry, and one of the better Will Ferrell movies lately. I can't think of the last one he did that was that good. His movie Strays was horrible earlier this year. The talking and pooping dog movie, gave that an F. But yeah, this is one to check out, and it works that it's free as well on Hulu. So, all right, thank you for watching Dan Reviews It. We'll see you next time. Bye.